contesting the results of Ethiopia's first free elections. They claim the government rigged the results against the opposition parties. The security forces responded with firepower and a wave of political arrests. At least 30 civilians were reportedly shot dead in June. These pictures provide evidence of large roundups. The demonstrators are saying, save us, as they are led away to waiting trucks. There have been more deaths and mass detentions since.
It shocks me when they say 50,000 of the youth in Addis have been herded away. This is unheard of. What's the purpose of this?
Hailu Shaul is referring to Didessa camp. Outside the capital, along this road to the west, and so far off limits to the media, Didessa is a former military base. Reports from former detainees tell of thousands being rounded up and dumped there. I found one man who had just been released from the camp. The interview took place at night in the back of a car to avoid being spotted by the security services.
Some prisoners were blinded, some had their legs broken, and others had their teeth smashed. Because of all these beatings, some could not walk. There were some who were shot in the legs and were left lying on the ground. I saw 30 people dying. They'd been beaten, and people are still dying. There are 43,000 prisoners in the camp.
How does he know it's 43,000?
That's what I heard.
Are very mindful of Ethiopia's history, the hardships that this country's gone through. It has been relatively recently in which the Constitution that was formed and the elections put forward a democratically elected government. As I indicated when I was in Kenya, there's still more work to do. And I think the Prime Minister is the first to acknowledge that there's more work to do.
Human rights groups widely criticized the recent Ethiopian parliamentary elections as a sham. In a recent report, Human Rights Watch said, quote, authorities use arbitrary arrests and politically motivated prosecutions to silence journalists, bloggers, protesters, and perceived supporters of opposition political parties.
We elected, that was a competitive process. I think the Prime Minister of Ethiopia was just elected in with 100% of the vote, which I think suggests, as we have stated in our public statement, some concern for the integrity of the electoral process, at least if not in the outcomes, then in some of the mechanisms that supported the process, the freedom for the opposition to campaign.
But does he think that that was a democratic election?
100%.
Byron.
Having fun up there?
Could you say what lawmakers...
thousands of pro-government demonstrators carrying placards and chanting slogans against the United States. Keep your hands off Ethiopia. Ethiopia doesn't need a caretaker, they chant. Last month, the U.S. imposed sanctions on economic and security assistance